So Krishna can be understood only by devotional service. Anubhavite, who is perceived. One can perceive the Lord only through devotional service. Because to perceive the Lord in this material world, the Lord has to decide to show himself up to the devotee. Not only face to face, even otherwise. Even to have faith in the presence of the Lord, to feel the presence of the Lord, one has to be in the proper mood of offering service to the Lord. Why does the Lord present himself to our conditioned senses? The Lord presents himself to our conditioned senses because the Lord is residing in another dimension, even as Paramatma. Leave alone the Lord residing in the spiritual worlds. The all-pervading Lord also residing in another dimension, which cannot be seen with our material senses. But the Lord being omnipotent, he can give an experience of his presence to his devotees who want to render loving service unto him. So wherever there is devotional service, the Lord is the recipient of the devotional service as Bhagavan, and only then there is meaning in bhakti. There is the sevak who is the bhakta, and there is the seva which is the bhakti, and there is the sevya who is the Bhagavan. So whenever devotion service is executed, the person who is devoted, who is executing the devotional service, he has to be in the background, aware what is happening, what he is doing, for whom he is doing. The presence of the Sevya should always be felt by the Sevak. The Sevak is overwhelmed by the presence of the Lord while engaging in devotional service to that Lord. That is called Ekabhavita, Ekabhaktya, Anubhavita, Ekabhaktya. The Lord is always willing to accept devotional service from the jivas. And therefore he incarnates into this material world. When he incarnates into this material world, then he is perceivable. First perceivable by our material senses, just like we can see the deity with our material eyes. We can hear the holy name with our material ears. The first level of perception of the Lord is with our material senses. And when the Lord appears, even in the material features of the deity or the holy name, those features are completely spiritualized. in the sense, as far as the Lord is concerned, everything is coming from Him. When everything is coming from Him, He can become anything. He can identify with anything that is His. Just like this whole body is mine, I can say easily, I am this hand. I can put all my energy, everything in this hand. But the hand cannot say, I am the body. This is Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. We are one with and different from God. God can say, I am material energy, when He wants. Because He is the cause of everything. In the effect, cause always exists. Me in my unmanifest form pervade this entire universe, Krishna says. Unmanifest, that is all. As a person, he has to manifest. It is his energy. So to perceive first we perceive the Lord with our material senses. The external, spiritualized form of the incarnation. What we see with our material eyes is the external, spiritualized form of the Lord. Because it is external energy. He is manifest in his external energy. How is He manifest? The Supreme Lord, who is in the spiritual world, He is the avatari, the one who takes the avatara. Is it not? The Lord is in the transcendental dimension. Avatara means one who descends into our dimension. So the one who descends into our dimension is called Avatari. The Satchidananda Rupa, Satchidananda Vigraha of the Lord is Avatari. Satchidananda Vigraha of the Lord is Satchidananda Vigraha of the Lord is like this, like the sun, Surya. He is light and heat. And the rays of the sun are also light and heat. The sun is also light and heat. The energy that comes out of sun is also light and heat. In the same way, the Satchidananda Avatari is always accompanied by his effulgent rays of his body, which are his personal energies. These personal energies of the Lord, which are surrounding the Lord always. Sun is always surrounded with sunlight. Satchidananda Vigraha is always surrounded with Satchidananda rays, Satta Chittananda rays. They enter the external material Vigraha. They enter the externally vibrated Nama. and they spiritualized the external vigraha. So any avatara of the Lord is non-different from the original Lord. By His own merciful act of giving an opportunity to us, with our material senses we can see Him. When we see the Lord with our material senses, our material eyes is seeing the material elements or the features, but our attention is seeing the Satchidananda form of the Lord. But because our attention is now contaminated by three modes of material nature, our attention is not sensitive to Satchit Ananda that actually is seeing. When you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, when you attentively chant, not only the materialized, the spiritualized sound you are hearing, your attention is actually hearing the Satchidananda sound also, but it is insensitive. Therefore, even though your attention is touching, you have no experience of that sound. When we sincerely serve the externally manifest Satchidananda-ized sound, spiritualized sound, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The Satchidananda Lord who is residing in that avatara, He is watching, He is receiving the service, He is pleased with the service. With faith you are chanting, with the faith that the Lord has manifested as an external sound for me. This external sound is as good as the spiritual sound, because the Lord has said so, scriptures have said so. So I shall serve the deities with whom I can see with my material senses, with full devotion and surrender, because today I am handicapped, not able to experience the Satchidananda presence of the Lord. But I am very fortunate to get an opportunity to serve the Lord who is mercifully appeared in the material elements which I can see. And He says it is as good as serving me directly. Notwithstanding your inability to see my Satchidananda form. So when the Lord who is residing, the Satchidananda Lord, who is residing in the Satchidananda-ized external vigraha, whether it is sound vigraha or whether it is deity vigraha, or it is prasadam vigraha, or it is intelligence vigraha, like the Bhagavad Gita. Whatever that vigraha, Satchidananda vigraha, every verse of Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita is Satchit Ananda. It is not material. So like that, when we are able to, so when the Lord is pleased with that, with the service of the devotee, who with faith in the words of the spiritual master and the faith in the omnipotency and the inconceivable mercy of the Lord, because he has faith in that, he knows this what is before me is God alone and nothing else. Is God alone. And then he serves. And when he serves him with Shraddha, with faith, because Shraddha is required. because eyes are seeing only material features. And as I said, our attention is touching the Satchidananda Vigraha, but it is insensitive. But if it is continuously touching, what happens? Our attention will become also Satchidananda-ized. Then we become sensitive to the Satchidananda Shabda. We become sensitive. Now we are numbed. The three modes of material nature has numbed our attention, numbed our sense of hearing. We have sense of hearing, we have got, our attention has got sense of hearing, sense of smelling, tasting, touching, everything. They are numbed now. Just like the other day I explained, a diabetic man, extreme diabetic man, he doesn't feel if a thorn gets into his feet. Why? Because it's all numbed, the cells. There's no blood circulation. Insensitive, right? Originally the feet was very sensitive. Similarly, originally our attention is very sensitive to spiritual sound, spiritual form, spiritual taste, spiritual everything, very sensitive. Our sensibilities were very sensitive. Now all our spiritual sensibilities have become insensitive. We have to sensitize our spiritual sensibility, then we can see the Satchidananda form of the deity, we can see this, we can hear the Satchidananda sound of the holy name. Our intelligence becomes sensitive to this, every word spoken by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, spiritually sensitive. That is real hearing from Krishna, Lord Krishna. Then, when the Lord incarnates, see, when we incarnate into this material world, now let's talk about three modes of material nature. When we incarnate into this material world, we are also in spiritual dimension, but we are reincarnating from one body to another body to another body. Right now in your body, you are an incarnation. You are an avatara. You are a Jiva avatara. Jiva is also taking different avataras. As man, woman, animal, this, that, they are taking avatara. When the Jiva, which is spirit, Krishna is supreme spirit, when he takes avatara as Archa Vigraha, as a holy name, we already explained, that he spiritualizes he Satchidanandizes the energy that is there. When we take avatara, we get Trigunaized, ulta. The material qualities Trigunize us. When Krishna comes down, he Satchidanandizes the three gunas. There is no three guna there. There is no guna in the deities. There is no guna in the holy name. Even in the external holy name, external deity, there is no gunas. There is no guna. How can there be guna when the Lord is residing there? There is no guna. There is nothing material at all in the deity. There is nothing material in the nama of the Lord. Even the nama that you and me vibrate with the tongue, there is nothing material there. Because he has decided to incarnate. Kalikale Krishna Nama Rupa Avatara. So, He fixes his mind upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Parabrahman, who is beyond cause and effect, who manifests the three modes of material nature, who is beyond these three modes, and who is perceived only through unfailing devotional service. In the material world, if this microphone is there, if my eyes can see it, the microphone has to force itself to be seen. The microphone cannot say, I will not see you. This is material seeing. Spiritual seeing is not like that. I want to see, and the seen also has to agree to be seen. Therefore, if you want to see God, like Paramatma is everywhere, right? He has to agree to be seen. I want to make now myself seen to this devotee now. Then it is possible. As Paramatma, he showed himself to Narada Rishi. He showed himself to Dhruva Maharaj. Externally itself. To Narada Rishi in the heart itself. Because he decided. He's already there. He decided to show himself. And all the senses of Narada Rishi became enlivened when he saw the super soul, saw the Lord in his heart. Similarly, the holy name has to decide itself to make you spiritually here. When the holy name decides to make you spiritually here, then you will want 1,000 tongues and 1,000,000 years. Years, not years, years. This is a statement of Rupa Goswami. I want 1,000,000 years and million, because with one tongue and 2 years it is so tasty. So he says, how can I taste more? Naturally, this is saturated, one tongue and one this thing. What about, if I have 1,000,000 tongues, I can multiply that. That is a content in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Because it's an ocean of Ananda, ocean of Rasa. The Jiva is only one tiny drop. The tiny drop has tiny senses. Tiny senses have got limited capacity. If I give you a bucket of water, can you drink? You cannot. If I give you a glass of water, you can drink. Okay, forget water. Nice sweet rice. One bucket I give you. Can you drink? You cannot drink. So immediately a thought would come, if I had 1,000 tongues and 1,000 bellies, I could have taken the whole bucket of sweet rice. So is the holy name. So is the service to the deities, etc., etc. So there is a great transcendental knowledge behind these things. Foolish Mayavadis, they don't understand, they don't accept the existence of the Lord as a person who has all these omnipotencies and he who does all these wonderful things, and for whose benefit the entire existence is displayed, acting, Bhuktaram Yajna Tapasam, for his pleasure. Everything is there. Mayavadis don't understand this. Devotees are not worshipping idols. Devotees are not vibrating some mundane sound. They are worshipping the Supreme Lord Himself, who has agreed to come in those material features. Yet He remains transcendental, because material features are all, after all, His material energy. He spiritualizes for our purpose, but He is always transcendental. So therefore, to think that the deity is only stone is also an offense. The Lord being omnipotent, the Lord can be stone also. That's the point. He is not only stone. If you say Lord is only stone, then matter is God. But matter is God's energy. There is in Achintya Bhedat Bheda Tattva, there is simultaneous one and difference. There is oneness and there is difference between the various categories of truths. Any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
You mentioned about sincere devotional service. Like, how to do sincere devotional service, Prabhu? What it means by sincere devotional service?
Sincere devotional service, if you want to look for a definition of that, you don't need a definition. Because what is sincerity? We all know very well. Because we are all sincere about something or the other. Karmis are sincere about sense gratification. Sincere means without duplicity, I want it, you are chasing it. That is sincerity. Sometimes, you see, I have selfish desire. But then I also have to go to the office and work to earn money to fulfill my selfish desire. So I go to the office. I am not very sincere. Just to earn money, I go there and do. I am not sincere. My sincerity is somewhere else, sense gratification. So we all have different degrees of sincerity. We have to compromise. So what to do? Because if you don't show sincerity in your work, he'll kick you out of the job. So you may put your intellectual sincerity, but your heart sincerity will not be there. Suppose you love the job also, there is rasa there. In the work also there is rasa. Then you will put sincerity there also. Where there is ananda, where there is rasa, sincerity is there. Similarly, by hearing Bhagavatam, by hearing the transcendental knowledge, if we are intellectually first convinced that this material rasa, jada rasa, vishaya rasa is a weak cheating, there is no pleasure in matter, I shall not take pleasure in matter. If that determination comes, then we become sincere for bhakti rasa. So that's what I said. There is no need for definition. You look into ourselves, what I am sincerely chasing. So bhakti rasa, if you are sincerely after bhakti rasa, then you will pull everything else towards that. Everything else you line up and harmonize towards bhakti rasa. Accept all things favorable for devotion service, reject things all unfavorable things for devotion service. You will pull everything towards bhakti rasa. Then you are sincere. You sincerely want bhakti. Bhakti means the pleasure of giving pleasure. Bhakti rasa. The difference between bhakti rasa and vishaya rasa. Vishaya rasa is you take pleasure in taking pleasure. In bhakti, you take pleasure in giving pleasure. Both are taking pleasure. You're always taking pleasure. Because we are Amshas of Krishna. Anandamaya. We are all Anandamaya. Atma is Anandamaya. But you want Ananda, you want to take pleasure in taking pleasure. Okay, let me put it in another way. You take internal pleasure, soul pleasure. Only soul pleasure you can take, no. From outside you have to take it from there. Soul pleasure is in your hand. I like it. When you say it is called soul pleasure. I take pleasure in, I like it. I like tapasya. I will stand on 1 feet. Standing on 1 feet, it is not pleasure. But I will take pleasure. That means the soul is taking pleasure in bodily pain. Soul is taking pleasure in bodily pain. So we are always internally taking pleasure. Now you take internal pleasure in taking pleasure from outside, that is called material rasa. When I take internal pleasure in giving pleasure to Krishna, that is called bhakti rasa. That bhakti rasa do you want? How do you? But just by hearing you understand. It takes some time, hearing, and by the mercy of Krishna, you will realize this. As far as the soul is concerned, this taking internal pleasure in taking pleasure from everything, this lauding pleasure is unconstitutional and it is cheating. It is cheating because that is not my actual, that is why I am not satisfied. It is a rasa for ahankara. I can enjoy that only with a false identity. With my real identity, I cannot enjoy. My real identity is suppressed. My real identity is I am servant of Krishna. The enjoyment for I am servant of Krishna is to take internal pleasure in giving pleasure to Krishna. Through my desiring, through my doing, through my activities, through everything. So there is where you can see how much sincerity I have here, how much sincerity I have there. Sincerity is a matter of heart. That's why I said, let's not define it. You cannot define it. You cannot fake sincerity. Anything that is definable, you can fake it. Oh, I'll do this, I'll do this. No. You have to give your heart. That's all. Simple. What? Do that. You have to give your heart. That is sincerity. Next.
Related to this, currently our basic consciousness is imbued with taking pleasure, bro. Like you said, we are all Anandamaya. So our faith is in where I get pleasure. So now currently at the neophyte stage, because you said my consciousness is numbed, but not because
not currently. Currently or eternally, whether in the spiritual world or in the material world, your tendency is to take internal pleasure. I am correcting.
Yes,
is to take internal pleasure. The difference is how you deal with the outside, to take pleasure from outside or to give pleasure outside you. Continue.
So now even if I hear the Hare Krishna mantra, because you said taking pleasure, now I take pleasure from outside, the outside material world. Now when I hear the Hare Krishna mantra, I'm not getting any pleasure because I've not put any pleasure there. So basically I can define like wherever I put pleasure, I get pleasure. So
it is a fact also.
Yes, sir.
Wherever you put pleasure only, you get pleasure. Even if you are getting pleasure in bhakti, because you put pleasure only, he also adds there.
So then I put pleasure on material things, I get pleasure. Why should I chant Hare Krishna mantra?
Because answer is, when you put pleasure, ultimately the pleasure that you enjoy is not the pleasure that you take alone. In a loving reciprocation, you take pleasure, the object of love takes pleasure in giving you pleasure. So the pleasure you enjoy is not the pleasure you take. The pleasure you enjoy is what pleasure is given to you. So in the material world, we are only trying to take pleasure from the objects which have no pleasure. All pleasures are achit. There is no pleasure there. So what we are taking pleasure is our hope pleasure. If you understand this scam, you have to understand from the descending process of knowledge. Point number 1, there is no pleasure content in anything material. Take anything, squeeze, is Ananda coming out, you see. Is it an intrinsic property of anything in this material world to have pleasure? Pleasure quality is not there in any matter. Does not exist. But then how are you experiencing? You are experiencing, you are taking pleasure. Your hope pleasure. That is mixed. Okay? That's what you are experiencing in this material world. Therefore, all the pleasures in this material world, facilitated by the super soul, illusory pleasure, is actually your own pleasure. Just like a camel is eating thorn, and the thorn is pricking the mouth of the camel, blood is oozing out, nicely it is getting chewed into a nice paste, and the paste is very tasty for the camel because blood is mixed into it, the taste of the blood, its own blood. And then the camel is thinking the thorn is very sweet, very tasty. In the same way, because we take pleasure in something, there is pleasure in this material, in matter. And we are thinking that she gave pleasure. Nothing. Your camel has given its own blood and giving credit to the thorn. Camel has tasted its own blood and it gives credit for the taste to the thorn. This is exactly the way we give credit to the sense objects in this material world. We believe that sense object is giving me pleasure, but it is not, because pleasure is in the mind. That is one object is pleasure, gives pleasure to one person, same object doesn't give pleasure to another person. The very same eyes, some person will give pleasure, seeing by one person will give pleasure, by seeing by another person doesn't give pleasure. If it is the same object, then it should have. Right? Everybody should see and everybody should get pleasure. That means pleasure is not the property of the object. Pleasure is churned here in the material world. Whereas in the spiritual world, what we are projecting here falsely is true. When I see a person, the person has got pleasure content. When I see anything in the spiritual world, when I hear anything, when I smell anything, when I taste anything, the pleasure is in the object of smell, object of taste, object of, because it's a spiritual person. That is the reason in the material world we have tendency to give credit to the object, because in the spiritual world it is true. Here it is a lie, there it is true. So chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you chant Hare Krishna, you take pleasure in chanting Hare Krishna. What do you take pleasure? You take pleasure in associating, no? As I told you, everything is a person. If you don't take pleasure in associating with Hare Krishna, why Hare Krishna should release pressure for you? Reciprocal, no? Isn't it? If you don't take pleasure in serving me, Why I will take your service? Especially if I don't need. God doesn't need anything. So you should take pleasure. So you're taking pleasure meets the pleasure of the Lord. So taking pleasure in serving the Lord is part of bhakti. Yes.
Prabhu, like how we understand this, that even though Lord is sitting in everyone's heart, then also our bodies, mind-body systems are getting influenced by three modes. Unlike the deities, as you explained. Unlike the deities' body, you explained, which is free from three guna, and Lord is seated in everyone's heart. So why these bodies are getting influenced?
Why?
Our bodies are getting influenced by the three modes, Prabhu.
Why it is getting influenced?
Even though Lord is sitting.
Lord is sitting, Lord won't get influenced. Lord is sitting, how you live? Lord is sitting, it is not influencing him. The Prabhupada also says in this purport, if you remember the Lord, you will also not get influenced. If you don't remember the Lord, you will get influenced. Sagunan samitaitattan brahma bhuvaya kalpate. You will also not get influenced. Simply sitting means he is not sitting in physical dimension. Suppose you are an atom in the deity's body. What you are saying is correct. Every atom is liberated. The dust on the feet of the deities, liberated. If it is a jiva, it gets spiritualized. At least, let's say a fly goes and sits on the body of the Lord. It gets purified. The moment it flies out, it again captured by the three modes of material nature. As long as the fly is on the Lord, touching the Lord, because it is Satchidananda's body. Unlike the Paramatma example, Paramatma is not Satchidanandizing his body, but in the Archavatara, in the holy name, Nam Nam Akari Bauda Nija Sarva Shakti, is Satchidanandizing. Anybody who touches the body of the Lord is also purified. The pujaris who touch the Lord get purification. But if they are not pure, moment they remove the touch, gone. Your three modes are acting. That is why when you do japa, you can experience different effect if you do uninterrupted. Continuously touch with your attention. Attention should not lose touch. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. You think means Triguna. Because all our thinking is Triguna. Attention is gone into Triguna. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.